news for all of our community members here. In our hands, both Ms. Wilson and myself, we have a document that is guides a discussion that the federal government is having with all kinds of different stakeholders. I guess in this case, it might be a province or a municipality or something. And it is concerning the Liberal government's long gun confiscation program. What do you think, Wilson?
Yeah, so basically what this is it is an agenda for an upcoming meeting. The meeting will be held on February 21st and 22nd between Federal Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino and the provincial and territorial public safety ministers or their deputies. And basically they're deciding to go full steam ahead with the buyback, which we call a confiscation program, of our legally acquired firearms. So this is kind of a big deal. It shows that there is movement. They are still committed to doing it, and they're going to try and get it done within this year.
All right. So we got a lot of stuff to whip through. We're going to try to make it as quick as possible. So we're just you can get a copy of this document on our website. But the first thing I found was interesting is in this under background, the Firearms Buyback Program builds on the government's measures to protect the public from firearms violence. And I just say to that, lol, because they all lined up against bail reform. I mean, they've got murderous repeat offenders walking the streets, literally murdering people and police, and they won't lift a finger to do anything about that. But they need our stuff for some reason.
Right. Yeah. They're keeping Canadians safe.
Yeah. And here's a big surprise. The next one, the next part down, you can comment on that one, Tracy.
Yeah, so it says right here, I'm going to paraphrase. It says the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP, will be the main agency responsible for leading the collection of these ASFs. That's the terminology they're using, assault-style firearms or ASFs. They say they do have operations in most provinces and territories, and they want to reassure the provinces that they will fully fund the RCMP that they use for this program.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to help the public's relationship with the RCMP much.
No, I don't think so.
And so the important stuff is here in next steps. The timelines for the launch of the program will be released once they get agreements in place with as many people as they possibly can. And that second point down, you can talk about, Tracy.
Yeah, so there's kind of two parts to the program. They're talking about starting with businesses that have inventory, unsellable inventory that they're stuck with, and in the first half of 2023, and in the second half focusing on individuals. But what's really interesting is they say here that they've had very encouraging discussions with Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, British Columbia, and then a number of cities. So if you live in any of those provinces, you need to start writing your provincial politicians right now and letting them know that you want no part of their participation in this. And then cities who apparently have had conversations with the federal government and partnering in confiscation are Victoria, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg, Toronto, Ottawa, St. John, Halifax, and Charlottetown. So I'm a little shocked to see Edmonton and Calgary in there, but
yeah, what are they thinking?
They're not, apparently. Well, to be fair, the mayor of Edmonton is a former Liberal minister, so I guess it all trickles down.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what you get. Victoria and Vancouver, these people are lunatics. If you ever go to the east side of Vancouver, it is like literally Mad Max zombie apocalypse down there, fueled by meth and heroin and fentanyl.
Oh, yeah.
There's people being stabbed, people being killed, police officers, RCMP officers being stabbed to death there. Well, right. That one wasn't specifically on the east side. It was a little bit away in Burnaby, is my understanding. But I mean, it's just random attacks. Like my kids live downtown, and just random attacks happening all the time. That's where that 6,000 crimes that were committed by 40 people. That's where that is in Vancouver. But the big priority, and that's all still going on. I was just downtown last weekend. The big priority right now for Vancouver City Council, I guess, is send the RCMP out to the Fraser Valley, out into the mountains to get 𝐥𝐞𝐦𝐻𝐿𝐴 AR-15 that's in a safe and registered.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
I think it's wild how some people can't understand why this is rejected so vehemently by gun owners. It's so ridiculous. You got to be in La La Land to agree with any of this stuff. Anyway, I guess the last part right at the bottom, if you want to cover that, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, for a government whose number one priority in relationships is Indigenous people, it says engagement with Indigenous communities will also be initiated shortly. So they haven't even started talking to Indigenous communities about how they're going to come in to their communities and start confiscating rifles from their people. I don't know. I still say it's impossible, but it does look like they are sure going to give a kick at the can here.
Yeah. Well, in any case, you can check out the story on firearmrights.ca. You can get a copy of this PDF. And you know what? If you want to play an active role in resisting this, contact your provincial MLAs or MPPs, depending on the province or territory that you're in. Talk to your city councilors, talk to your mayor. This is ridiculous that they would even cooperate with this thing. Remember, at the end of the day, it's targeted directly at people who have firearms licenses and nobody else. So anyway, well,
get involved and get out there and oppose it, because we've got to be loud. Look what we can do when we group together. So we all got to get on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for digging this up and writing that story for the website, Wilson. And check out the story and make sure that you make your voice heard.
Thanks, Rod.